Jeff, we got a lot to talk about, brother. How you doing today?
Good morning, guys. Yeah, a lot went on yesterday, didn't it?
Sure did. A big weekend ahead, too. Who's going to play quarterback for the Steelers? Another big football game on Saturday. But we'll start with the Steelers, Jeff. Is it as simple, in your opinion, that if Russ Wilson is healthy, he's the guy on Sunday against Denver?
Yeah, let's not overcomplicate this. He was named the starting quarterback. He was brought in as the starting quarterback. He will be the starting quarterback if he is healthy in Denver, not just for the personal revenge reasons that he might have somewhere deep in his soul, but I think they believe he's the best quarterback for the Steelers.
Jeff, how different do you think this offense will look underneath Russell Wilson if he is the starter? Like, will it be night and day difference from what we saw on Sunday with Justin Fields?
Well, it won't be the 3rd and 5, tuck the ball and run like we saw, with Justin Fields. What we would see from Russ is what little we saw in the preseason. He's going to hang in the pocket a little bit more. If he has time, he's going to go through his progressions, and he still throws one of the prettiest deep balls in the league, not just the best on the team. So I think you'd see them take a couple of shots downfield. Not that he won't check it down, but I think that's the main difference. Obviously, the athleticism from Justin, you just don't find hardly anywhere in the NFL. So Russ is he has a little mobility to go left and right, but he's going to be more of a pocket guy.
From the most important position on the football field to clearly the second most important position, punter, Jeff, Cameron
Obviously.
Johnston. Oh, man, you just feel bad for the guy. 2 punts, 2 really good punts, and then he's hurt and lost for the season. Read that Corliss Waitman has been brought in. Is that on a tryout basis from what you understand, Jeff? Is he one of a few guys coming in, or are they going to just give him the job?
No, my understanding, they did a tryout yesterday, and Waitman was the guy. Listen, they had him in camp. I think he punted a couple of games for them, 3 years ago? And when he was in camp, he had a strong leg. He's got an interesting background. He was born over in the Netherlands, and he only started punting late in high school. And he punted at South Alabama, and no one really knew much about him. And they really liked him at the time, but they thought they had other options or had a better answer. So I thought it would be Brad Wing. That's who I thought would be back just because of his experience. But they've always liked this guy's leg, and he's going to get an opportunity to really forward his NFL career.
Jeff, do you think we see Troy Fautanu this week?
That's going to be really close. I think that's going to be closer to who's going to be starting at quarterback if Russ is healthy. They love what he can do. I mean, he's a great athlete. Let's see how these first couple of days go. But I think there's a chance that there's a change of tackle.
Do you think Dan Moore would remain in the lineup, Jeff?
I think it still would be the original plan of Broderick going over to the other side and Dan being out of the lineup. But again, let's see how his knee. They didn't have practice yesterday. It just came in and went through some meetings. So let's see on Wednesday. Let's see how they line up on Wednesday. But I think maybe it wouldn't be that way the first week, but I think you will see very soon Jones and Fautanu as the tackles.
You all right there, Jeff?
Yeah.
little testosterone departure there.
Jeff, how about
Either that or I'm 14 again.
Right. Jeff, how about Dante Jackson? I mean, he was flashing on Sunday. I mean, that's looking like, at least after the first game, a pretty damn good acquisition.
Yes, and he's been good all camp. He's built a good relationship with Joey. He's come in, he talks a big game, and he's confident. He believes he's better than what he showed last year. I think he also kind of admitted that, man, it's nice to have T.J. Watt on your team. Quarterbacks will make, as one of the guys said, dumb passes when T.J. Watt's in your face, and it wasn't just him. But yeah, game in, he's been solid, and like you said, what we saw in the game was, what you've seen in practice is him playing a pretty good corner.
Jeff, obviously big news yesterday at the University of Pittsburgh. Heather Lyke no longer the AD. A synopsis on her career from you, and then what do you think they're looking for in the next person?
Well, I mean, she did some good things. She brought in Jeff Capel, believed in Capel, and that turned out to be true. Obviously, the volleyball program has flourished. She didn't hire Dan Fisher, but extended him. She had big visions, big dreams. Like every single sport there, but most every sport there, got new digs. They added a floor to the Peterson complex up for baseball, volleyball, soccer. Obviously, they're building Victory Heights, new locker rooms, renovations all the time at the football facility, basketball as well. But she had some conflicts. Victory Heights cost a lot of money, and they were nowhere near where they wanted to be fundraising. So she did some good things. There were some issues she had with some people, and I think you're always going to have that with athletic directors. There's always going to be some donor that doesn't like you. But there was some of that, and as Joan Gable said, maybe not the vision they wanted with NIL and having to pay for players coming up next year, and how they're going to plan to raise some of that money.
Jeff, what names have you heard of potential candidates, and who does fit that bill? Who does Pitt need to go after to make sure that they are in the modern times and can facilitate the NILs and all the things that college sports bring to the table right now?
Well, here's the thing. It's not like back in the day, like 20 years ago, where you look for somebody that's worked their way up through the college ranks. That is not necessarily what you need. What you need is someone that can bring in money. So that widens your scope of people that may not have experience doing this. And you already hear the names of Louis Riddick. There's a guy that sits in that studio on Wednesdays that is an intriguing person, and Doug Whaley, because of how
I
much
thought you
money
meant
he
Fittipaldo.
raised. Him too. Cabali would be another.
Yeah.
But I think you hear those. I think Pat Bostic is one of those guys. Listen, he knows how to work a room. He has great relationships. He loves the university. I saw Darrell Revis's post about Chris LaSala. I mean, I think those are the type of names you're going to hear initially. Chris King with Robert Morris is a guy who's been around, but it's going to be someone. I think you've gone so many times without a Pitt man or a Pitt woman that you have to look in that direction. Who is somebody that loves the university and that, most importantly, can help you raise money?
Jeff, forgetting the quarterback situation, what do you think is the most pressing question to be asked at today's Tomlin press conference?
I think tackle is an interesting one, just because there's been so much invested in that position. But beyond quarterback, I think who your starting tackle is going to be, and obviously there's still little things that they need to work out here or there. But that to me would be my second question: who's that starting? How are those starting tackles going to work out?
Jeff, awesome stuff, man. Covered a lot of ground. We appreciate you coming on, and we'll look forward to talking to you on Thursday.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you. Jeff Hathhorn, Odyssey Sports Director. Check out a lot more of Jeff's work at 937thefan.com.